A 3-part extension for generating video from images. We can use some technical techniques to extend a 5-second image to video generation to 15 seconds. Use the input image as the first frame, generate a 5-second video, then take its last frame as the starting frame for the second generation, create another 5-second video, and use the last frame of the second result as the starting frame for the third generation. After rendering, combine the 3 videos to get the final result. In fact, it's not limited to just extending 2 segments. Once we're familiar with the entire process, we can extend it infinitely. Because each image-to-video rendering consists of 81 frames, it doesn't add pressure on performance. Let's take a look at the workflow, which is still using the RunningHub Online Comfortable UI operation platform. First, let's talk about Quick Start. Image-to-video usually requires 2 inputs. One is an image, and the other is text. We have 3 image-to-video generations here, so you need to input text 3 times. If I don't lock the seed each time I generate, I should have some foresight when entering prompts, such as predicting what will happen in the next step. The second set of prompts for generating the video needs to be adjusted based on the pseudo frames from the previous video as input. If the initial differences in video creation after filling in our prompts are too large and we can't meet expectations, what should we do? We can lock the seed, bypass the latter part to get the first result, then fill in the second prompt, unlock the bypass section, and generate the second segment. This allows for complete segmentation. Plus, some numerical input fields like width, height, and length. I've already fully standardized all 3. Just fill them in sequentially from the left column. Navigate to RunHub and click AI, or click the link in the introduction to register, and you'll receive 1,200 points. Logging in daily will give you an additional 100 points. The corresponding AI workflow and one-click AI applications have been deployed online and can now be run and tested online. Next, let's look at the construction of this process. The first part is the model. We can use the quantized model from GTUF or the non-quantized version. My suggestion is to use the unit loader directly. If we aim for a higher resolution result, simply change it to 720p Q4 or Q8 directly. Correspondingly, below TK is the image to video function, set 480 to image to video 720. This node comes from Kaja nodes. The 2 bypass nodes above also come from this plugin. These 3 are all used to speed things up. So in general, I just choose to use Tcache because it's the simplest and most convenient. Basically, once you install it, you can start using it right away. We've always understood that if this rendering process is accelerated, there will inevitably be a loss in quality. It's about selectively enabling it. Keep scrolling down to the resolution section. For the 480p model, it can be either 720 by 480 or 480 720. For the 720p model, it can be either 1280 x 720 or 720d pointing 820. You can adjust the orientation as needed, but it's not recommended to use 720p for small screen sizes. The frame rate is 81 frames per second. 81 frames, which is 5 seconds. The official Weixiang video is 5 seconds long. If the frame rate here is below 81, it might mean the video memory is insufficient, and you need to generate a 5-second video in segments. But we actually have another process for such things, so there's no need to make any extensions or additions within this process. Look back, image encoding and text encoding, this is the traditional official native process. Then it enters the K-sampler to take a sample and obtain the first result. The first time after the image and video were sent out, we actually needed to take the last frame of our first result, used a simple mathematical expression, a-1. So what is a actually? This is the count for the first video, totaling 81 frames. 81 minus 1 equals 80. After seeing the image from the batch node, the input image has a length of 81. Set all the frames to 80. Then when you subtract 80 from 81, that leaves the last frame, which is the final one. If this is a-2, it will output 46 and 47. It's very easy to understand. The rest follows similarly. Actually, this is where you can better demonstrate the essence of visual programming in Convey UI. After that, we input the second set of prompt words for image-to-video generation, encode the image again, and perform the image-to-video rendering once more to obtain the final result. It's clearly just a matter of waiting. Batch image is combining the results from the first and second attempts to create a 10-second video. The third time around, following the same method, we arrived at our final result, 15 seconds. In such a process of converting images into videos, faces do change. I think introducing a strong and stable aura at this moment would be helpful. We can address this issue. This process was originally based on the 3-step expansion of Cog Video X, which converts images to video. However, the results back then were much worse than now, and using pseudo-frames for rendering didn't feel unnatural. Back then, Cog Video X faced way more challenges than it does now. Finally, we might use Audio to do the voiceover for this video. So most of the time, this channel shares open source models and projects, but closed source models are where Running Harbor really shines. He brought down the prices of many popular models, such as V2, Keling, and Wanxiang. Some specifications were even lower than the official published prices. The more you use it, the more you'll realize that saving up bit by bit really saves money in the long run.